Salutations and blessings from Nashville, Tennessee. It is your pal, Gunnar Nelson here with his good news of the day going into this weekend here. Hope you guys are keeping your spirits up. You're supporting yourselves. You're trying to grow and learn and take advantage of this time. There are a lot of you out there that are still kind of sheltered in place, that whole safe at home thing. They're looking at that kind of easing up here in my home state of Tennessee next Thursday, and I'm looking forward to that, especially so because there are new reports coming in all the time that the numbers are different than what they had originally projected. I'm talking dramatically so in the positive leaning direction. You know, they actually anticipated by this time going into summer, kind of knocking on summer's door here, there were going to be so many fatalities due to COVID-19. And it's a little difficult for me to actually be going through all the news reports and learning as much as I try to learn and kind of sift through any of the sources that have a political bent to them. There seems to be such an agenda, especially because this is an election year. And boy, that just chaps my ass to see people politicize something like this and try to keep their agenda going. There are a lot of people that are struggling to keep their hold on power that they've had in this country in particular for the last 8 years previous. And just sitting here watching, it's kind of difficult. But I mean, especially so when we got people out there that are not only suffering and personally affected by COVID-19, and again, my heart goes out to all of you. Nothing but love and support from all of us to all of you out there. But also, there's a lot of fear that is being churned up by this endless stream of numbers that you see on television that are just designed to scare you. So after many conversations with friends of mine, especially out there in California, a very good friend of mine who's actually posting this video, we had a discussion a couple of weeks ago, and what I said was, you know, what I'm getting in my research is that the numbers that are coming back to me as far as the people who are actually dying from COVID-19 are right there with the regular seasonal flu. And as a matter of fact, it looks like I was really wrong about that, and I need to apologize. I was really wrong because from the numbers I just got today, that's really not true at all. Those numbers are really inflated. As a matter of fact, the seasonal flu has killed many more times the number of people than COVID-19 in the equal amount of time. So if you guys don't mind, because so many people out there are so concerned with the numbers, as we go into the summer season where things are warming up, and a lot of our professionals are out there suggesting that the warm weather and the sunlight and humidity is going to be devastating for the survival rate of this particular virus, which is good news for all of us. I want to give you some sobering statistics. If the numbers have been freaking you out, as people are talking about relaxing the stay-at-home orders, we're going to continue with social distancing, which I always think is a good idea, and frequent hand washing because, as I've always said, ew, if you don't. But that said, dig this. Here's some numbers, okay? So if you get afraid as we're going into more changes in getting back to life, which I'm really looking forward to. These are the numbers for January 1st, 2020 to March 30th, 2020. We're talking the first 3 months of this year. Okay, now in this amount of time, just 3 months, this is worldwide numbers here. 35,000 people, according to the statistics, have tragically died from COVID-19 in the first 3 months of this year. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. Any lives lost sucks. But in relation to that, 35,000 people in the first 3 months, death from COVID-19. Okay? In that same amount of time, 119,000 people have perished from the seasonal flu. Okay, so let me rephrase that again. 35,000 from COVID-19, 119,000 from the regular flu. In that same amount of time, 612,000 people have died from alcohol-related illnesses. 1.2 million people worldwide in that amount of time from smoking-related deaths and complications brought on by smoking, a lifestyle choice. In that same amount of time, 2 million people from cancer, 3.2 million people from communicable diseases like, cholera, encephalitis. There's all kind. Anything that you can catch was 3.2 million. And we don't talk about this as much, especially with COVID-19, but in that same first 3 months, tragically all over the world, 411,000 people have perished due to HIV and AIDS. So perspective, okay? Let's get these numbers here and really think about this. Now again, the COVID-19 deaths that they're documenting are absolutely admittedly inflated, because anybody who has died in a hospital and test positive for COVID-19 has been marked down as a COVID-19 death. And that's really kind of misleading. It's not kind of misleading, it's just straight up misleading. So here's the bright side. If you're thrown by these numbers that the media has been trying to pitch to you to make you terrified, okay, in relation to, folks, look, I'm just going to break it down to this, okay? We like to feel like we're in control of life, and we try to hedge our bets as much as we can. They say the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And fortunately for all of us humans, we can actually increase both. You know, you can work on yourself through this COVID-19 thing. If you don't want to be in a high-risk group, take this opportunity right now to lose some weight. I know I'm going to do that. You know, I'm working up my health routine again and trying to do that, because they have absolutely proven that if you are overweight, that is a contributing factor to COVID-19 developing into something that's really devastating. You can also reduce your blood sugar levels. Change your eating habits. Diabetes, you can reverse it. There are all kinds of things that you can do, but ultimately, you are not in control. You don't have the final say, because as much as people try to find if there's like anything out there that we can learn from SARS-2 that causes COVID-19, what we can avoid, what we can emphasize, the one thing that they're learning is that there are random cases all over the place that don't follow any kind of rules or protocol, which reminds us that ultimately we are not in control of the outcome in our lives. Ultimately, we can have the best of intentions. We can put as much time and energy and focus into improving the quality of our lives and reducing risks and stuff. But life is a contact sport, and life is risky. Just by the nature of being alive, it's risky. Every time we would go out and do a show, we're getting on planes, trains, automobiles, every single thing that we get on. If you look at the statistics, my gosh, if you looked at the statistic of just driving down the street, going to the corner market, you'd never get in the car again. So here's some perspective. Don't get caught up on the numbers, okay? Because if you look at life in general and the risks that long before COVID-19 came along, you were taking and not even knowing it and doing just fine and surviving and thriving throughout it, you're not going to get hung up on the numbers anymore. At a certain point in time, you have to do your best, give it up to God, and get on with living, okay? Wash your damn hands. Don't touch your damn face. Remember to take good care of yourself and the people that you love. And even more important, maybe coming out of COVID-19, why don't you take some good care of people that you actually don't like all that much? I'm working on forgiveness myself, so I'm going to try to take something positive from all this. So anyways, the numbers are in your favor. And as far as risk is concerned, you're winning the game. And that's the good news for the day. Lots of love. Have a great weekend. Now get out there and do something with yourself. See ya.